Let's talk about opinions. Oh, we could go down the rabbit hole with this one. So let's take a deep dive. So, what is an opinion? Everybody seems to have one. One person says one thing or another, and we're told to take what resonates. What does that even mean? For me, an opinion is a snippet of information. A snippet of information that's filled in by our memories. And memories are really unreliable. The research tells us that. Snippets of information that are filled with our own beliefs, our past experiences, our filters that we've created to protect ourselves, our created knowns, again, to protect ourselves, our traumas, and other things that have crossed our path. So, my question is, do you think this is distorted in some way? Do you think that perhaps opinions could be based on the reality of the situation as it truly is? Or are they based on our prejudices, our biases that we have about that topic or person, and that we're projecting upon them to keep ourselves safe? Snippets of information may seem real. They really do seem real at the time, most especially if they're tied to emotions. Just like our thinking may seem real. Again, when they're tied to our emotions and we've given them meaning, and notice that it is us that gives it meaning. It might even seem that we're sniffing a trail that will give us the answers about something or someone. And these snippets of information give us easy answers. 1 + 1 = 2. It's easy. It's done. But are they real answers? And if we feel it resonates, based on what I've just spoken about, then we're hooked. We're hooked, line and sinker, that this narrative, this story must be true. It must be true, so we amplify it. We add to it. I have a question. What does this feel that it resonates with me even mean? How do we know why it resonates? How do we know we feel the way we do? Whether these feelings are real or they're based on what we know, what we think we know. Do we know whether our interpretation is actually what we think it is? Or is it what we want it to be? So I'm going to say that again. So do we know that our interpretation is actually what we think it is? Or is it what we want it to be? Is the snippet of information resonating with what we want to believe about a topic and a person? The easy answer. So, if that's the case, then it fulfills a deep desire to receive validation and confirmation that we're right. That based on these opinions and the validation we've received, what we're thinking and then what we do has to be right. There can't be any other way, can it? Can it? I mean, you see, without asking these questions and knowing why it resonates with us as a truth, it remains distorted. And then only later we kind of realize that may have been a distorted opinion or snippet. I told you we're going to go down the rabbit hole here, so why is it distorted? Well, if we have unhealed thinking patterns, traumas, and the like, biases and prejudices, we're inclined to scan for information to feed and confirm what we think we already know. It keeps us safe. It tells us we're on the right path. We can't possibly be on the wrong path. It must be true. And I'm here to ask you, is it really truth? Is it really real? And I can't answer these questions for you. Only you can do that. But how do you know? Because in each of us, there is a whisper, a voice that whispers and is telling us so subtly what our truth is. But often we dismiss this inner whisper because we buy into the louder voices, the repetitive voices. But in my experience, listening to that inner whisper is where the gems of wisdom are. It's where the revelation is. Because those who are often loud come from the ego mind. And there is not much wisdom in the ego mind from my experience. And those who are often loud come from the traumas and unprocessed emotions that they hold. It keeps these in place. It's the safe known. Truly, though, they want to be heard, and yet the clarity is not quite there. Because they're looping in old circular thinking patterns that go round and round and round and round. To see where we're going with this, it keeps them stuck. So my invitation to you today is to step outside of the collective opinion. Step outside. What do you value? Are you taking your experiences or others' experiences as yours? Is this really truthful? Is this an integrity? Is it ethical? Are you willing to say yes and to be quiet and still and find that inner whisper, that inner voice that is so yearning to be heard? Because an opinion is just a snippet of information. And my invitation is, don't accept what's not true to you. For often opinions are fragments of somebody else's pain. It's easier.